Good afternoon, my dear teacher trainees. May I draw your attention the interest to this afternoon session being planned for the lesson entitled Parent Teacher Association and the School Management Committee. So to begin with, let me list out for your notice some of the important happenings in our schools. Uh, Frankly, the government or the management committees from time to time create complex school policies, uh, and there is again shrinking budgets for education management and the administration, while there is increasing class sizes. Students' education problems are also increasing as a result of complexity of education transaction. There is varied parents' desire. Government, on the other side, issued and published mandates for school community to follow. There is misunderstanding between teachers and the parents and among parents. And the side-by-side socio-political issues and the pressures give indirect impact upon school activities. And lastly, the challenges of delivering quality education are daunting. That is help. It is nothing but parent-teacher association. So if these varied happenings are there in the school setup, then the question is what is the need of the hour? Yes, a 1992 Program of Action for the 1986 National Policy on Education encouraged for giving preeminence to people's involvement, including association of non-governmental and voluntary force in education so that the school function efficiently and realize the goal of education through the exchange of ideas, suggestions, and support services. Well, uh, Parent-Teacher Association is an organization of parents and the staffs, parents whose children are reading in a particular educational institutions are considered as bona fide member of the Parent-Teacher Association of that institution. So its role is to encourage closer links between home and school, and the parent-teacher associations are best known for their fundraising work, but they have a useful social function too. Fundraising events provide an opportunity for parents, staffs, and pupils to get together. What parents can do? Yes, parents with reference to their expectations, desire of their children's then facilities or problems faced in school setup can share ideas and suggest measures to bring about improvement through necessary corrections. Uh, they can help in correction of defects if any and follow up central found sake. They can help in formation of good helpful living habits and behaviors. Through parent-teacher association, the parents can be involved in planning, organizing, and implementation of school health program and so on. Yes. Then what are the parent-teacher relationship? So I'm telling you, parents involvement program promote a number of desirable student outcomes. Home visits by teacher, parent-teacher conference, and the parent-teacher association can be an important strategy that teachers can use to promote and encourage parent-teacher relationship. It also strengthens the effects of educational and the social interventions. When positive relationships among parents and the teachers exist, the resources of the home and the school context are amplified, providing a greater likelihood of positive outcomes for children. So, how is the parent-teacher association organized? Yes, the answer is at most schools, all parents or carers and teachers are automatically members of the parent-teacher association. Most parent-teacher associations hold their annual general meeting at the start of the school year. At this meeting, a committee is elected to run the parent-teacher association. usually consisting of a chair, a vice chair, a treasurer, a secretary, and ordinary committee members. So these ordinary members include at least one and often two parents from each classes as class representatives, and their job is to pass on information from the parent-teacher association to other parents in their child's class. And the third, parent-teacher association committees usually meet once a term and set up smaller working groups to organize individual events. How can I be involved in parent-teacher association? Well, there are many different ways you can help with the parent-teacher association, whether you have lots of time to offer or not. So once you got invitation to join parents-teacher meeting, you can attend the same and involve in election of office bearers of the parent-teacher association. So some of the roles are time consuming, although also rewarding. If you cannot commit to a big job, look out for things you can do less frequently, and you can always support parent-teacher association events by simply turning up. You can give a simple suggestion or share a workable idea for improvement of services rendered in a school setup, right? So this picture clearly shows why to join the parent-teacher association. So I'm telling you, number one reason is to volunteer actively for better education of children. Second, to share creative ideas, give suggestions to improve current school programs and help build new student programs. Third, to connect with other parents and discuss the current needs and the problems of individual child, make parents' voice heard by the school authority, and by joining parent-teacher association, parents always remain a super parent and always alert for better education of their words. And finally, parents remain informed about the school norms, school programs, and the student support services. So now, a new question comes. Why is the parent-teacher association needed? Well, for a school to function better, it is important for teachers and the parents come together. A parent surely wants to know everything is going on well in the school, including the teachers and the school management. So teachers to want to know the social background, interests, and so on of the students. All this actually works to the benefit of students. Knowing more about the student helps teachers to cater to their needs accordingly. So now let me spell out the purpose of the parent-teacher association. So the following are the purpose of the parent-teacher association. First, to explain school educational policies to parents by teachers. Second, to convey parents' desire to teachers. Third, to discuss problems concerning grades and classes. Fourth, to discuss educational problems and the future of individual children in case individual meetings, and finally to promote understanding and the friendship between teachers and the parents and among parents. Well, why should parents take initiative? Yes, parents are, after all, one of the important stakeholders of education of the present time. They are responsible for the education of their children. So when being a part, it helps them to know how the school works, problems faced by the children, and so on. Therefore, the Parents-Teacher Association works towards improving and enhancing the life of the students and the school as a whole. The establishment or the organization of a parent-teacher association is important in many ways. The role of education for the betterment of the society cannot be neglected. In order for the school to function effectively for the students' welfare, it is important for both teachers and the parents come together. So this is well achieved by the parent-teacher association in the school. An effective parent-teacher association is much beneficial to both the school, teacher, parents themselves, and their words in many ways. First, it helps teachers to understand students from the parents' perspective and vice versa. Secondly, it helps parents to know all about the functioning of the schools, the problems, and so on. And thirdly, Parent-teacher association works towards making the school better and the best place to get a quality education. So now let us make a move of our discussion to school management committee. So to begin with, let me tell you what a school management committee is meant. So, School Management Committee is an important provision of the Right to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009. Section number 21 of the Right to Education Act 2009 mandates the formation of School Management Committee in all the elementary government aided and special category schools in the country. And the side by side, the Right to Education Act envisions a school management committee is the basic unit of a decentralized model of governance with active involvement of parents in the school's functioning. So this policy brief by Accountability Initiative and the Central Square Foundation highlights the success, challenges, and opportunities in the functioning of school management committees as envisioned in the RTE Act. Now, the question is who are qualified to be the members of the school management committee. So let me spell out one by one. This include parents and guardians, women who are to constitute 50% of the school management committee members, parents of the children of weaker and deprived sections, and so also the parents of children with three different levels, high, medium, and low of achievements shall be represented adequately, and the remaining 25% would be formed from locally elected representatives or management members, the head teachers, educationists, and or child development experts. Two students from the schools are to be co-opted as non-voting members, of which one at least must be a girl. The chairperson of the school management committee in government schools will be elected from the parents. In added schools, the chairperson will be a management representative, and the side by side, the head teacher of the school, or if the post doesn't exist, the senior-most teacher will be the member secretary, and he will conduct the meetings of the school management committee. This should be held once a month. And lastly, the school management committee is to be constituted within 3 months of the new academic year and reconstituted every 2 years. So these are the conditions led for the formation of the school management committee is practiced in the country. Well, my friends, school management committee has a number of functions, and this includes monitoring the maintenance of norms and the standards prescribed in the schedule, which would include classrooms, school facilities, teacher-pupil ratio, etc. Second function is monitor the attendance and the punctuality of teachers. Third, monitor the utilization of grants from government and other resources. Fourth, prepare and recommend the school development plans. Fifthly, monitor the enrollment and attendance of children from the neighborhood. Six, monitor the identification and enrollment of disabled children and ensure that they are provided with facilities and materials till the completion of elementary education. And finally, monitor the implementation of the midday meal and the other government school schemes. So these are the important functions of the school management committee. This organogram shows the organizational structure of the parent-teacher association, and from this chart, it is clear that the school management committee is headed by a chairperson, and he is further subordinated by a vice chairperson, and the both chairperson and the vice chairperson in terms of the function of the school management committee are subordinated by six ex officio members, the parents representatives, and the two co-opted members. So frankly speaking, school management committee has a very crucial role in actualizing the goals of the Right to Education Act. I must say, all government aided and special category schools shall have to constitute a school management committee as per section number 21 of the RTE Act. Since private schools are already mandated to have management committees on the basis of their trust or society registrations, they are not covered by section number 21. So a proposed amendment makes the school management committee an advisory rather than statutory body for schools covered under article number 29 and 30 of the constitution, minority schools. So now let me tell you the procedures followed in the formation of school management committee. The process of constituting school management committee could be as follows. First, the general body meeting of parents or guardians, all parents or guardians of the children studying the school will constitute the members of the general body of the school management committee. Uh, and the general body members will elect representations of parents as per right to education norms for the executive committee of the school management committee by consensus or if needed by voting. Third, teachers and other members, along with the elected members from the parents, will constitute the executive committee of the school management committee, and in turn, they will elect office bearers of the school management committee as per norms specified in the Act. And at last stage, the school management committee can also constitute subcommittees, including members from the general body for specific functions, and all these committees would be responsible towards the general body of the school management committee. So, well, my dear teacher trainees, in the concluding part of this lesson, I just want to place the following suggestions for smooth functioning of the school management committee. Number one, there should not be too many subcommittees. Second, some members of the school management committee should not be repeated in too many subcommittees. Third, the number of members of each subcommittee should be limited to 3 to 5, depending on the workload and the complexity of tasks. Fourth, at least one member of each subcommittee should be a woman. School development planning, the responsibilities should be shared across all subcommittees as per their area of work. And finally, it should be acknowledged that some of the planning tasks are quite technical. Therefore, the different subcommittees should have people with the skill sets required for working on these committees, and such individuals should be carefully identified and supported. So I hope this lesson provides you certain basic ideas and knowledge about the parent-teacher association and the school management committee in terms of the concept, need, purpose, advantages, and the ways for formation and functioning. So with this, I'm concluding this lesson, and let me say thank you to all my beloved teacher trainees for attending to this lesson. Thank you very much once again.